Welcome back to this Great North Run vlog series. I'm just getting ready for a track race tomorrow, 5,000 metre race on the track. First time I've ever raced on a track, so quite excited. I'm just pulling some things together that I'm going to take to the race. I thought I would talk through a few technical items that I'm using at the moment to track my progress. Just quickly, there's Jesse the cat just kind of chilling, although he's definitely chilling. Although he's a little bit distracted by a fly that's in the room, but otherwise just getting ready for the race as well tomorrow. Okay, so the first item I want to talk about is the Garmin 630 Forerunner. I've had this watch for about, 3 years. It's got the wrist heart rate monitor, which I don't tend to use, certainly when out running. I do use it to track resting heart rate. The reason I want to sort of pinpoint this item is because it's the best Garmin watch I've had. I've got no desire to buy a new watch. That's really the first time I've felt that way. I've had quite a few Garmins. I had a Garmin 610, 615 I think, and the 630. Ventured with Polar years ago because I thought the wrist heart rate on the Polar might be a bit better, but it wasn't. I think Garmin's the best brand. I've heard a lot of people talk about Chorus and the new Polar watches, but I think I'm pretty brand loyal to Garmin. The main reason why I sort of highlight this is I do use it as a guide in terms of VO2 max. So I'll just quickly show you that at the moment my training is productive, based on heart rate and effort, and I'm currently reporting a VO2 max of 58, which is pretty low for me, to be honest. That usually suggests that I'm out of shape, but the Garmin actually has a predicted 5k of around 17:43 at the moment. So I am keeping that in mind, especially since I've rejigged my heart rate stats on the Garmin Connect app. So I've put my maximum heart rate to 192, which is, I think, pretty much bang on the money. I've been training for the last sort of 4 weeks building up, and I am around 58 V dot, and I think that's about right. So tomorrow, based on the Garmin, I'm going to be aiming for a time of around 17.5 minutes, probably running around 3:30 per kilometre. So the second item I want to talk about is the Polar Verity Sense heart rate monitor. This actually straps onto your arm, either the lower arm, like just below the elbow, or the bicep, and it's got a sensor, which you can just see there. I use this for all my runs now. I think it's a lot better than chest straps. I wasn't a big fan of chest straps. It's certainly much better than the wrist sensor on the watch. So I just wanted to pinpoint this because it gives me confidence when I go out with this Polar Verity Sense that the heart rate readings are going to be pretty good, very accurate. And that's really important when you're trying to track your progress, both in terms of the Garmin VO2 max readings, but also just generally getting a sense of how your heart is reacting to different types of runs, different paces, different intensities. So I would definitely recommend the Polar Verity Sense. That's all I'm going to say about that. But for anyone who's struggling with wrist monitors or just the general discomfort of wearing a chest strap, I would definitely recommend this. I've not had any regrets with the Polar Verity Sense. And the final item I want to talk about was probably the most interesting, actually. This is a Stryd power meter, running power meter. I quite like this. I've been using this since November 2020. Built up quite a lot of data with it, and then had a bit of downtime with an injury. This just goes onto your foot through the laces on your running shoes, and it comes with a companion app on your mobile phone, so you can track your progress. what the foot pod does is learns about you through running. So it suggests doing various types of runs, like a 1 hour run, 20-minute effort, 5-minute effort, 1-minute effort. And what it'll do is come up with zones. So I'm finding this really interesting as a sort of point of reference that's sort of different to the Garmin heart rate, pace type measurements that come out with the VO2 max readings. So I just want to show you quickly the app itself, and just show how I am at the moment, and just compare and contrast that with the data we've just seen on the Garmin. So here we are in the Stryd running app. What I want to pinpoint here is the app allows you to put in some races, and based on your current fitness levels according to the foot pod, it spits out some sort of target or expected running times. So you can see I've got the Northeast Masters 5k set up for tomorrow, 1 day to go. The Stryd app believes I'm going to run 18:58, which is well below the prediction that Garmin's coming out at. So the Garmin, based on VO2 max of 58, is suggesting a time of around 17:43, whereas Stryd is predicting a much slower time of 18:58. That's based on a running power of 342 watts. So that's basically what the app is telling us at the moment. But what I'm going to do is, after I've run the race, I'm going to post a video with my running time that I achieved. So I'm going to wear the Garmin, I'm going to wear the Polar Verity Sense, and I'm going to wear the Stryd foot pod, and I'm going to run the race with my own effort. I'm not going to refer to the watch, I'm not going to refer to anything. I'm just going to run the race, try and compete, try and run as well as I can, as close to an all-out effort as possible in a race situation. And then I'm going to review all the data post the race, and I'm going to post another video which goes into more detail about exactly what happened, looking at my heart rate data, looking at the Garmin pace data, and also the Stryd power data. So let's see which is more accurate at the moment, the Garmin or the Stryd power meter. It's going to be interesting. My gut feel is that the Stryd power meter is far too conservative. I think I can hold more than 342 watts. The key thing is that the power meter behaves itself and records the date accurately, but we'll be able to see that post the event. It sometimes drops in and out, which is fine during training, but not so good. I actually use the Stryd power meter for pace and distance measurements as well, rather than GPS, so I'm hoping that'll be beneficial running around the track, because I know people have a lot of issues with GPS on track. So hopefully going to be interesting, a little bit of insight into how I train, how I use data, how I assess it. But the key thing is I go into the race not bogged down with looking at the watch, looking at paces. I'm just going to get on that track, first time running 5,000 meters, give it my all, and then do the post review and let you know how I got on. Hope you found that interesting. If you've got any comments, please leave them down below, and I'll speak to you again soon.